Is perfectly understandable. Airport construction overview. The original construction plan for this airport was based on constructing a dual terminal and dual runway configuration in 2 phases, with the possibility of making additional 2 passenger terminals at some point in the future. During the Phase 1, first passenger terminal was constructed along the very first runway. Support structures and facilities, a large maintenance hangar, the first fire station, 45 aircraft parking bays, workshops and administrative offices, 2 cargo agents buildings, an air freight complex, control tower, and in-flight catering kitchens. The Phase 2 involved constructing the second runway, second fire station, third cargo agent building, and 23 aircraft parking bays. The whole process started a few decades ago with landfill, seafill, clearing swamps, among other things. The airport has a development policy of always trying to build years ahead of demand in order to avoid congestion problems that happen frequently in major airports. This particular policy is the reason why Changi Airport has set the bar so high and went on to become the best airport in the world. Bearing in mind high influx of passengers, they started working on Terminal 2, which upon completion increased total capacity of airport to 66 million passengers a year. The Jewel. The most notable structure of the Changi Airport complex in Singapore is the Jewel. Basically, Jewel is a nature-themed retail and entertainment complex and one of the trendiest spots where people take tons of photos they post on Instagram and other social media networks. The Jewel is located on the landslide of the airport and is connected to all 3 terminals. The structure is known for a unique waterfall. In fact, the Jewel is home to the world's tallest indoor waterfall, called the Rain Vortex. The waterfall is surrounded by trees that resemble a forest. At its core is the Forest Valley, a terraced garden attraction that offers many spatial and interactive experiences for visitors. The Forest Valley also includes walking trails, cascading waterfalls, and quiet seating areas. Surrounding the gardens is a multi-level retail marketplace on 5 levels, which features access to the garden via a series of vertical canyons. The world's tallest indoor waterfall stretches over 7 floors. The original intent was to build the rain vortex at the center of Jewel. However, because Jewel was built around the existing SkyTrain track, the section of the track that connects Terminals 2 and 3 now runs right through the middle. To work around the fixed structure of the SkyTrain, the team had to construct the rain vortex slightly off-center, while keeping it a safe distance from the SkyTrain. Unless you have a bird's-eye view of Jewel, this will be almost impossible to notice. During the frequent and powerful thunderstorms in this region, recirculated natural rainwater will flow at more than 10,000 gallons per minute, which helps provide cooling and airflow in the landscape environment, collecting significant rainwater to be reused in the building. Building Information Modeling, or BIM, has been an irreplaceable tool in the conceptual design development and construction stages of Jewel. The conceptual form for the glass dome was conceived from the ground up using BIM from the very beginning. The entire design development process and detailed shop drawing review process were also based in BIM. This technology was also utilized in the maintenance strategy and to assess operational impact items, like traffic planning and sightline impact of construction cranes to the control tower. For instance, before the cranes were erected, the team used BIM in order to ensure that they would not impair the control tower's visibility of the airport runways. At the start of the project, BIM Execution Plan, or BEP, was outlined to create a roadmap for the use of BIM. Regardless of the fact that the Jewel is an enormous structure, the airport was still able to work properly throughout the construction process. Despite its position in between Terminals 1, 2 and 3, the engineering team has been working its magic for the last 4 years, right in the middle of the entire airport's operations. This was a major success for the team to continue building out Jewel without impacting airport operations and affecting the traffic flow to and from the airport. If you need yet another reason why Changi Airport in Singapore is so awesome, particularly the Jewel structure, then it's worth noting that the Jewel is a 10-story building with 5 levels above ground and 5 below, with the development having the deepest basements in the whole of Changi Airport. The project's team carried out many studies, including geotechnical studies, whose primary objective was to assess the soil condition and impact to surrounding buildings. Typically, basements are constructed from the bottom up, whereby all the soil is excavated and foundations are placed from the bottom and working upwards. But this method could not be used because of the buildings surrounding Jewel, including the air traffic control tower. Instead, the construction team had to take a different approach. They adopted a top-down construction method for Jewel. Excavation and construction works were done one level at a time, moving downwards, while all adjoining structures around Jewel were monitored round the clock to ensure they are not negatively impacted throughout the development works. Jewel's Canopy Park and Forest Valley are filled with lush greenery and integrated with a variety of offerings like play attractions, gardens, walking trails and dining outlets. For visitors to fully enjoy these unique features without visual obstruction, Jewel had to be free of columns. But think about this, Jewel's roof facade weighs 3,500 tons, equivalent to 6 A380 planes, and spans over an area 200 meters long and 150 meters wide. For a roof of this size to be column-free, the roof requires a support system. Fortunately, the team of architects found a solution for this particular issue. The architects designed a support system which consists of a ring beam and 14 tree-like columns circling the edge of the roof. Each column extends to 12 meters in height. As a result, this props up the entire roof facade around its perimeter, and this supersized cantilevered roof is now literally suspended in air at 37 meters above ground. How fascinating! A substantial amount of roadworks and diversions had to be done while constructing the roads leading to Jewel. This includes ramps that lead vehicles to the basements of the new complex. For the latter, a big part of the work is done underground. However, there is a significant number of vital services running through the location of these ramps, supporting the daily operations of Changi Airport, including the water pipes, telecommunication lines, and critical services connecting the terminals to the control tower. Any type of impact on the services will be detrimental to airport operations as a whole. The project's team hence had to tread very carefully when working in these locations, making the construction of these ramps one of the most challenging tasks in the entire Jewel development project. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.